little soul tribe. I'm trying to be more regular about these doses of inspiration. I know that we need, those little reminders to keep us on track. Everything I talk about, this is stuff you know, right? I know it, we know it, but we need those reminders. We have to come back to this over and over again. It's so easy to get just kind of swept away in the external experience and kind of let life start happening to us instead of stepping back and taking the role of creator in our life. And no matter what, if you're taking the role of creator or you're letting life happen to you, no matter what, you are creating. See, sometimes it's just happening unintentionally, right? So the thing that you're creating is really your fears or your worries or your apprehension, or because you're in that state of reacting, you're sort of a step behind. You're still reacting to what just happened instead of arriving right here and then creating from this moment, deciding what it is that you want. And that doesn't mean that life can't be showing up in a way right now where you're a little frustrated. Maybe it's not working out, and maybe you're like, no, Debbie, I would never create this, this thing that's happening in my life, this relationship problem, or this problem at my job, whatever it is. I didn't create this. Yeah, but maybe you did in a subconscious way. You created it because you're being compelled to move forward. It is time for you to expand and grow. And this is the bummer of life, is that we are always expanding and growing. That life is not some place that we can stay complacent, right? We have to keep moving forward. And when I say moving forward, I do not mean linear. If we're moving forward in a linear fashion, then it's like being on this hamster wheel. It's just kind of going through the motions. It's just doing the same thing over and over again. And we can do that from a state of being really unconscious. There's nothing exciting in that. There's no growth happening in that. There's no overcoming, strengthening, growing in our consciousness. And a lot of us kind of get stuck there, So what I'm going to inspire you today to do is to notice, where are you in your growth cycle? Are you in a state where you're expanding and growing? Or are you in that linear phase where you're just kind of going through the motions? You're feeling a little dissatisfied with life, uninspired. And it's okay from time to time to sort of be in that space waiting for that inspiration to come in. But notice if it's a place that you've placed yourself and that you've done it because of fear. Because if it's fear of moving forward that is keeping you stuck in the linear space, then you're probably feeling feelings of frustration, anger, yucky feelings. You might feel sad, depressed, heavy. We don't want to feel that way. That is not, why we were put in this body, right? To live in that manner. So the longer that we sort of stay stuck in those patterns, the heavier we can get. The more of those feelings we can accumulate, just frustrated, irritated, heavy, depressed, sad, whatever. And again, we are designed to level up, to keep moving forward, to challenge ourselves, to rise above those things. And so to do that, we have to constantly face our fears. We are the only way to level up, the only way to expand and grow is to go, okay, what makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable? What am I nervous about doing? What is something that might shake me up a little bit? Think about a plane. When the plane is on, once we sort of leveled off, when you've taken a flight to go somewhere, we hit like a certain altitude and we just level off, and usually everything's fine unless we encounter a storm, some sort, metaphorically or not. But anyways, you might feel some turbulence then, but for the most part, it's smooth sailing. But whenever we level up, when the plane goes into a higher altitude, you're almost always going to experience some turbulence on the way up before you level out again. Same thing is true in our lives. So we want to look at where are we being asked to grow, and look from the standpoint of where am I feeling a little turbulence in my life? Where am I feeling that frustration, that irritation? Where am I noticing some discomfort? And you know, it could be in our health, in our physical bodies, it could be in our emotional health, it could be in relationships, it could be at our job, it could just be the way that we're showing up. So, you know, if we don't have to necessarily have our purpose be something that we're doing in the manner of exchange for money, right? Your purpose might be something much more profound that isn't necessarily in a direct exchange for money. You could be doing something super powerful where every day you're impacting people or the world, and it could just be raising children, right? Think of the impact you're creating there with your own children at home. But again, are we being asked to level up in those spaces? Where are we feeling off? And looking at it. And so I have developed an acronym. It's sort of like a set of steps that you can take whenever you're leveling up, when you're being called towards some sort of growth. And so this acronym it kind of is an easy one to remember, because I just mentioned that one of the things that we can look to notice what area of our life is growing, expanding, is where are we fearful? Where are we apprehensive? Where are we nervous in that forward movement because we're uncertain? And ask yourself, what are you afraid of? And let's use afraid as our acronym. So if we start at afraid, the letter A, and we say letter A is acceptance, it is surrender. So we'll use this as like a stepping stone to move through the transformation, the shift. So we start with what am I afraid of? And then you're going to break down afraid from the acronym AFRAID. A being, the first A, being acceptance and surrender. So we cannot be in a state of resisting where we are. We have to love where we're at. So if we're having trouble with our relationship, or we're struggling in, you know, we don't like our house anymore, it's no longer fitting us, and we want to make a move, these sort of things, we have to first come into a level of appreciation for where we are, to really find within us a state of peace with where we are right now. So if we cannot make a forward movement from the standpoint of resistance, of hating where we are, a forward movement that's being compelled by fear, rejection, running from, all of those things, that is not going to be a forward movement. That's going to be a linear movement. So you might make a move, it might feel different, but you're not going to level up. See, the next level, we want to elevate ourselves into a higher level of joy, you know. So to do that, we have to first accept where we are. Find a way to surrender to whatever is happening, whatever turbulence is in your life. And then we go to the F. And so we want to find faith. So where can we find faith? So now that we've accepted this is where I am, this is what's happening in my life, and then I've surrendered to it. I'm not fighting against it, I'm not resisting it, I'm surrendering to it. Like, this is perfect, this is where I'm supposed to be. And can I, in that space, in that same space, without bringing in any resistance, can I find faith? Can I find faith that there's something better out there? So that if I was to let go of this thing, that I would be able to find something better, that the reason that this is being shook up is because I am on my way to something higher. Can I find that faith? And then, what can I release? So the R in afraid would be, what can I release? What can I let go of? What is keeping me stuck here? What am I holding on to, trying to grip tightly, that might be holding me in place? What can I let go of so that I may level up? And what we might need to let go of, it could be a belief system. It could be a person, it could be a thing, it could be a job, it could be a habit. And oftentimes we know the habits that we need to break, those habits that keep us stuck in place. And so we have to really look at, there's always something that we're gripping, that we can feel is holding us in place, and we know exactly what it is when we tap into our intuition. And what can we release, and that will allow us to level up. And then we go to the second A in afraid, right? Coming down that scale. And the second A is attention. Where is your attention? So now that we've sort of found some level of faith, we've surrendered to where we are, we've released anything, or we're working through, releasing whatever it is that isn't serving us. Now, where are we placing our attention? See, because if we're placing our attention on fear of it going wrong, or worry about what we're letting go of, then we're going to stay stuck. But if we're placing our attention on where we're going, are we focused on what it is we want to create? Maybe we're using what we're letting go of for the contrast of what it is we want to create. So we want to always look at, where's my attention? And that's something you have to really keep a close eye on, because it's tricky. You know, the mind will wander. And if we're not conscious of it, we're going to go right back into those old thinking patterns and go right back to gripping that thing that's trying to leave again. We won't even realize it's happening before, boom, we're right back there. You know, so we got to really pay attention to our mind when we're in that state of transformation, when we're moving and growing. So the next letter is the I. So now we've got to go, here's where we're placing our attention. We're creating something new. And what is our intention behind that? Why? Why do I want something new? What am I being called towards? Maybe I want to have a greater sense of peace. Maybe I want to expand in some way, but we have to really get clear on the why. Why are we doing it? Is it because of more money? And if it's for more money, why? How will that money benefit us? How will it increase me as a human being and my experience on this planet? What is it? Is the attention. So what am I creating? It's like, where am I placing my attention? What is it I want? The intention is why? Why? What is my intention behind it? So how do I want to feel when I get there? What is the essence of what it is that I'm trying to infuse into my life? Why am I done with this thing and moving into this thing? What aspect of me is going to be different? And then the final one, most important and often the most looked over. See, we might accomplish all those other places. Oh, you were like, Psst, Debbie, I got that, no problem. Oh yeah, I'm doing that. I've been focusing and I know what my intention is, and I've released everything I need to release, and I'm in faith 100%. I surrendered. You're there, right? You might be just knocking those all out of the park and you're like, I've got this down, yet it's not happening. You haven't leveled up for some reason. You stay on that linear path. Well, then we need to look at that final stage, which is the D, deserve. Do you think you deserve it? And is there something that you can do that will make you believe that you deserve it? So many of us don't even realize until we really look at it, do I think I deserve that relationship where I'm loved and cherished every day? Do I think I deserve to have a career or a purpose in life, a way that I'm showing up where I can benefit the world and I can show up in joy and love every day and really love what I do and also get paid for it? Do I think I deserve that? Do I deserve to live in maybe a lavish lifestyle, or a lifestyle where, you know, I have comforts, where I don't have to struggle? So always checking in with, do I believe I deserve it? And then finding a way for you to elevate yourself into that space of believing that you do deserve it. So, you know, maybe that is doing some work, inner work on self-worth, right? So, you know, what is it that's there blocking me believing that I don't deserve it? Why is this person more worthy than me? Sometimes it is, you know, if I believe that I should be gaining, you know, a certain amount of money for a skill that I have, and I don't necessarily believe in the worth of myself. So sometimes we need to get more education. We need to, talk to somebody who's in that higher level and have them validate us in some way. And again, I don't think you need validation from an external source. I'm saying this is something you might need in your consciousness to be able to elevate yourself, to free yourself from the space of I deserve. So those are my thoughts. I would love to hear, what is it that you're afraid of? What are you working through right now? And where are you stuck? Where are you stuck in that acronym? I hope you have an amazing day, and I look forward to hearing your journey. Hey there, Soul Tribe. If you enjoyed that video, don't forget to subscribe so that you'll be notified when I release the next Daily Dose of Inspiration. See you soon.